Proverbs 4 verse 7. Wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. Hello, hi, I'm Nonny, and welcome to Got You, a space to learn, unlearn, grow in understanding and in love as far as relationships are concerned. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember, we are dropping episodes every Friday, 12 noon South African time, on Spotify, on YouTube, on Apple Podcasts, on Amazon Music, and everywhere you go. Everywhere you think you can find a podcast, we are there. Thank you so much. To those who've been here from the beginning, thank you so much. I would like to take this time to just appreciate you and honor you. Thank you so much. And to those who just came across us, thank you so much for taking your time to listen to us, to subscribe, to follow, to comment and share. We really appreciate it. Today we are maintaining relationship with ourselves. Remember, the strength of a bond is cultivated through routine and consistency. So these things that we're about to discuss or to talk about, these are the things that you do repeatedly. You do them every now and again. It's not a one thing off, right? You can do it once if you're not serious about yourself, honey. I'm kidding. However, this is to be done continually. This is just not a thing that you do once, right? Because you are in a relationship with yourself. When you are in a relationship with other people, you constantly check on them, you constantly do activities with them, you constantly do all these things. So it's an ongoing thing, it's a journey. So also with self maintenance, it's also a journey. You do these things over and over and over and over and over and over again till Jesus comes. The first thing that I would like us to talk about in maintaining relationship with self is checking in with yourself. You know how easy it is to check on other people. You know that I need to talk with this person, I need to call this person, I need to check on this person. But do you take time and think of how you need to check with yourself? Where are you? How are you feeling? What makes you happy? What space would you like yourself to be in? What space is conducive for you to be yourself? So those are the kind of questions actually that you can ask yourself when you are checking in, right? Where is your mental state? Are you okay, right? What's weighing you down? What's consuming your thoughts? What has been in your thought? All these things, what have you been worrying about that you're not supposed to worry about? All these things, and these things take time, right? Self-checking takes time. Like how you can call a person and check on them, it takes time. You can be on the call with them for like an hour or so, just checking on them, hearing where they are, and just giving them an ear, right? Also with yourself, do that. If you can't speak, if you feel like, oh my goodness, this is crazy, I can't speak with myself, write it down. One of the reasons why I personally advocate for a journal, for people to have journals, is because it's very important to know where you are also as a person. Outside other people, it's very important to write your thoughts down, write your anything, ideas, just write things down, right? You'll never know. Maybe you're writing a book. You never know, honestly. So take your time just to sit down and check in with yourself. Are you okay? Are you happy with how you handled a situation that you were facing? Where are you, right? Emotionally, where are you? What is your perspective of things that took place on that specific day? Just have time for yourself. It's really, really important. And the other thing that you can do is you treat yourself with care, intimacy, and dedication. I know this is probably almost hard for an average person, right? because we are too critical on ourselves, especially when you have a background of people saying negative things to you, or people who are not satisfied, people who want more, people who want you to do all these things, right? People pleasing and all these connotations. It's very hard to treat yourself with care. As long as the other person is okay, you feel like you're okay. Nope, we are reversing that, right? If you are okay, the other person will be okay, right? This is not from a selfish angle, but this is from a point of you cannot pour what you don't have. So it's really important that you treat yourself with care. How then do you treat yourself with care? Do things that makes you happy. Just do things that are for you. Just set goals that makes you happy. Nothing hectic. Nothing. If you really love you really love to learn, then buy a book. It does not matter how expensive or how cheap that book is. Just buy yourself that book and just read it, right? Feed your soul. Did you hear that? A very dangerous statement I made there. A very dangerous statement. Anyway, take care, right? Take care of yourself. Buy skin products or anything, man, really anything, just to be happy, right? Just to enjoy the joys of life. So that. And the other thing is intimacy. I know. Intimacy. Just have time where you are alone, right? Where you are really honest with yourself. And when I mean really honest, I don't mean that you should be negative, right? You should be critic of how you look, how you did things, and how you speak. No, I'm speaking from a perspective of just see you for you, for once. Just see you for you. There are a lot. Everybody makes mistakes, right? Everybody does something weird, something out of character, something out of line at some point. However, when you have intimacy with yourself, right, you are able to understand and encourage yourself, even in those mistakes, instead of down speaking yourself, instead of just being negative about yourself, having negative image about yourself, and all these things, right? And pulling yourself down, all these things that we normally do, honestly, on a very random day. That's what an average person would do. However, we are done with that toxic life. We are done with that toxic life. We are done. We are matured. Now we understand the importance of relationship with self, right? And dedication. Do what makes you happy. Do what makes your heart literally leap with dedication. Be dedicated to yourself. You see how dedicated you are when you are pursuing and you're pursuing your friends. Actually, a typical example, when you have a crush on somebody, you become dedicated to them. To those with obsessive personalities, they even go on their social media and then just begin to just stalk. I don't want to use the word stalk. No, they don't stalk them. They just go through their social media, read everything they wrote, like everything they posted, comment on almost everything they posted, all those things. Dedication. Be dedicated like that to yourself. Be dedicated to the good things that you do. Be dedicated to the job that you do, right? Be dedicated to self, not to the job, but to self, that you made that job to happen, right? You accomplished that. Be dedicated like that. Be dedicated to spend time. Be very intentional about it. Spend time with yourself. We cannot say you have a relationship with somebody when you don't dedicate, when there's no dedication in between. Either you dedicate time, you dedicate yourself, you dedicate your gift, you dedicate literally, dedication is one of the keys to a strong and healthy relationship. So it's really important. So you see how you are able to dedicate time, 2 to 3 hours on a call just to speak with friends and family. What is 30 minutes of focusing on your on what you want, on focusing on yourself, on speaking with yourself, on encouraging yourself, on understanding more of yourself, on learning things just for the sake of self, right? And another one is, oh my goodness, this one, it is so important. Reinforce a positive self-image. Let me say that again. Reinforce a positive self-image. Don't speak ill of yourself. Stop speaking ill. I myself was, past tense, thank you, a victim of it. No more. We are maturing this side. We are growing. So, reinforce a positive self-image. Speak well of yourself, right? Imagine having a friend who's always critic about you, what you do, what you wear, how you speak, and all these things. They're just critic about everything about you, and on top of that, they're just there's just this negative energy that they have. Can you be in such an environment? Can you grow in such an environment where people are just, where friends are just ill speaking about you, speaking negative about you, what's pointing out what's wrong with you, what's not going right with you, what's not well with you? Would you function? Would you be conducive in that environment? No, you would not. So why do we then like to speak ill of ourselves? Why do we then like to speak negative about ourselves? Why do we then point out all these wrong things, and forget the good things about ourselves, the good things that we do, the things that we are striving in, the things that we are championing in, right? So it's really important that you stop speaking ill of yourself and speak well of yourself. Like how you speak well of your friends when they did good, you congratulate them, you are happy for them. Do the same thing with you. When they are sad, you make sure that you are there. You speak words of encouragement. You do the same with you. Do the same with you. Okay, thank you. And the fourth one, set goals. Okay, this one goes well with dedication. However, we're just gonna do it separately. Set personal goals purely to pursue the joys of life, right? Purely just what brings you joy. Like I said earlier with the dedication and treating yourself with care. Purely that. Just set personal goals where you're like, you know what, I'm gonna walk for 5 kilometers. I'm gonna walk 5 kilometers, or I'm gonna anything. You're gonna dance, right? Just anything. Let it not be something that you saw somebody do that worked for them, but let it be something that you really want to do. Okay? I think in that way it's going to help in not imposing people's things in our life, in self. It's going to help us to understand ourselves more, to know what we want more more than what we see other people do, or what other people imposes to us or unto us. And the fifth and the last one is self-sufficiency. You are enough. I know there are small voices in our heads that continue to tell us, no, you're not enough, you're not good enough, you don't look beautiful enough, you're not tall enough, you are short, you are, right? You are sufficient, you are enough. You are enough to make your life as beautiful as it can be. You are enough to make yourself happy. You are enough to explore this world and find things or find treasures on your own. You are enough. You don't need an external force or an external person to realize or make your life beautiful. You yourself can do that. You can do that. So it is with a very serious note that I say this. You are enough. But this is not to say, or this is not to imply, that you should be prideful and think less of other people, right? And think that, oh my goodness, I'm better than you. No, I don't need you. This is not that, right? Please come back to the original context. This is to say that you should not depend on people to make you happy, to make your life joyful, to make your life purposeful, to make all these things, to make your life colorful. You can do that on your own. You've got what it takes to do all that. So it's really important to have these entities in your life, or to implement these entities in your life, to maintain a relationship with yourself. If there's anybody that is with you all the time, in sickness, in death, in joy, in pain, is yourself. So do justice to yourself and give yourself the treatment, the time, the love, the care, the compassion that is necessary for you. And also being self-sufficient, right? It makes you to be aware of yourself and aware of the things that you are capable to do, of your abilities. Self-audit. Audit yourself. This is a tool to make yourself, to understand yourself more. This is to make you to be aware of yourself. This is not a tool to use to critique yourself, to downspeak yourself, to downplay your achievements and all these things. No, this is for you to be aware of yourself, to quietly get in the groove of yourself. I don't know if that makes sense. However, it makes sense in my head. It makes sense in my head. So this is all about it. Remember to have self check-ins, to take care of yourself, to dedicate time to yourself, to speak well of yourself, to reinforce a positive self-image, to set personal goals that are purely for your joy, are purely for your heart, are purely for your soul, for you. And remember also that you are sufficient. You are sufficient, and these things are things that you do on a daily or however time you think you have. Just implement these things in your day-to-day life or whatever. Just implement them. Just make sure that you don't spend a long time without you doing these things, taking care of yourself, checking in with yourself, dedicating time to yourself, and all these things, speaking positively to yourself, and affirming yourself, encouraging yourself. All these things that you do to other people, do them to yourself, because it is from the very place that actually others are actually able to also receive from you, or receive an overflow of that. Anyways, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you learned something, and if you did not learn anything, well, I was here to remind you of the things that you know very well that you're supposed to do and you're not doing. And if you are doing it, well done. Well done, mama. Well done, papa. Thank you so much for tuning in, and don't forget, we are releasing episodes every Friday, 12 noon South African time, on various social platforms, on your YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube. Don't forget to follow on Spotify and Apple Podcast, everywhere, Amazon Music. I'm Nonny Mutaung, and thank you so much from myself and the Got You team. We say bye. God bless.